Today we are making a simple baked salmon fillet. We often we'll get salmon fillets when they're on sale. This is a wild sockeye, which is lovely, and pop them in the freezer, and then it makes a pretty quick weeknight dinner that's good for you and is super tasty. Of course, you can do this with other salmon as well, or probably other kinds of fish. The rule of thumb for cooking salmon in the oven is ½ inch, about 5 minutes. 4 to 6 minutes, but 6 to me is a little too done and 4 is a little too rare, so I go for about 5. But of course, you're going from the thickest part of the fish. And I would say here, actually, often we get almost an inch. These are a little bit less. So I don't know, I'm gonna look at them at about 8 minutes and see how that goes. This is keep your eyes on it, because you really, all seafood, like the prawns that I did recently, don't overcook it. That's when you ruin it. It gets dry. You want it to still have that lovely, luscious juiciness that seafood can have. So what I did was I took out the salmon fillets and I put them on parchment. You can also use foil. These ones have skin on them, but they don't have to have the skin on them. And I patted them dry, because they were a little too wet when they first came out of the package they were in. So we're doing super simple today. So I'm gonna drizzle with a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of salt and pepper. And then I'm gonna use my hands just to make sure that everything there is covered. You're washable, you know? And like I said, we're going super simple. I could leave it there, but I'm gonna put some thinly sliced lemon on top, just like that.
Voila.
And that just adds a little bit of flavor and makes them pretty as well. Pretty is a good thing. So we preheated the oven to 425 Fahrenheit. And I'm gonna pop those in, and like I said, I'm gonna keep an eye on them, and I'm gonna look, I think we're looking at about 8 minutes, but the way to find out is to take a fork and see if it flakes off, and you wanna go into the thicker bit to make sure that that bit is done, because the sides will most definitely be done because they're thinner. So we'll come back when it's time to have a look at that. So it turns out that the salmon was in the oven for 10 minutes. I started looking at 8. And all I did was sort of go in with my fork and go, okay, well, you know, is it opaque in there? And it is. So, but just, right? I personally err on the side of slightly underdone than overdone. It's not gonna kill you if it's slightly underdone, and it's gonna taste way better, and it's gonna be a better texture as well. So there you go. That's a really simple way to do salmon. Yes, you can pan fry salmon. You can also, go on in. You can pan fry salmon. You can also do it in little packets, either foil packets or parchment packets in the oven. You can poach it. You can do all sorts of wonderful things with salmon, but this is one way, and there are lots of ways you can riff on it. So I hope you make some salmon, because it's quick and it's tasty and it's healthy.